Just watching the news about the hurricane, and I was trying to get information about damage in Maryland to see if there was any damage in Maryland, and um it's kind of hard to find updated information because evidently there was a tornado in Maryland only a month ago. But I don't know because I don't know how how true any of these reports are. It's hard to uh, know what, like on YouTube, which time date stamps have been real and which aren't. And, when it says 1 month ago, is it a tornado that took place a year ago and somebody just downloaded a bunch of footage from a tornado that happened a very long time ago? Um, I'm looking for live coverage of the hurricane because I'd like to know who or what the severity of it is. I'm trying to find a non um what was the expression Miss Nagel used? Isn't it interesting that as I'm saying, remembering Miss Nagel, that I'm remembering how much Miss Nagel resembles the uh, several people who maybe shouldn't have progressed in the way that she progressed. Miss Nagel was a seventh grade instructor that I had in a class that was supposed to be fun, and it was about advertising and marketing. Obviously, a very surface level class, but one of the things that she covered was the use of subliminal information uh, within different uh, within movies and that's back then rather mild, and she talked about sexual innuendos that are purposefully placed in ads and product placement that is subliminally placed within movies. Um, so right now I'm just looking for really up to date information without having to pay for a weather channel. It's absolutely absurd. You practically can't even get local weather without having to pay. Um, and I'm just not finding anything. And the whole reason also that I signed on to do a live thing and talking about time date stamps on video information. It's September 23rd, 2023, 9:24 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I can't even say the word mountain now without being reminded of Mountain Christian. There's so much, like everybody wants to contain uh, pretty much absolutely. Uh, this is the strangest thing right now. This has started 5 months ago. Fox Weather live streams tropical storm Ophelia, Ophelia, makes north but then it says Fox Weather 1.7K watching started 5 months ago. So who knows what that's supposed to mean? Unless I just caught them in the act of manipulating time. And I got up this morning and had my coffee and everything. And there was only one albatross flying over the highway over there, like near, I'm in Boulder, Colorado. So I'm like right in and just to keep my records as straight as possible so that, let's see if I can show the mountain view from my apartment window. And let me see if I don't know if you can see it, the mountains from, but there's the highway and the trying to see if I can, and the albatross were flying like way there. And so I remembered about the storm, the hurricane that supposedly, what I'm saying is that the people who can't stand for me to be or have real time information on absolutely anything because of the cases of my that I've put forth, and the lie versus the truth on a constant basis. So the liars don't want me to know or have real-time information. The more real-time information I provide, and the more truth I provide, the less the liars have the ability. The less the liars have any ability to manipulate the truth tellers. So, and I also woke up this morning yet again hearing a man and a child. Only this time I feel like I got more like more like as I was listening this morning, it sounded like that there was possibly sound bites from different rooms, like the man wasn't in the same room with the child. So I'm starting to hope that all this that I've been hearing and not being able to reach, that it's all been manipulated purposefully to still far from uh, 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 far from uh, far from far from acceptable standards within like what a child should be able to experience in regard to expecting honesty from adults and good care, um and all this comes in when in situations like this, because this is um information like the storms, the tropical storms and stuff, and all the information that just absolutely everything, because I've been used so very much, and I'm trying to get through this without going through the whole scenario of what I've been through, and I'm concerned my children have been through out of my geographical vicinity. And still, even as I'm speaking right now and I'm having hope, it's like they don't want you to have any hope because they don't, because it makes them feel uncomfortable when you have hope. And now somebody popped up in the apartment across the way, and now she's pulling the thing. Um, as if. But anyway, so I'm like hearing someone screaming, like a youthful female. At the same time, I'm trying to see what information is going on and on the East Coast, and I don't understand this right here because this forecast, it says Queens, New York Live, Rockaway Beach, high rip currents risk on New York City beaches, tracking Ophelia. Stay tuned for live coverage. Um, but I can't get it's not playing. So I don't know if there's a, and then again at the bottom over here, when I click on like that, over here, I can't find it now. Is that, let's click off again. Over, let's see, to her in this corner over here. In this corner over here, I think it's over here. In this corner over here, oh, you can't see it because I've got stuff on my thing. So let me turn it this way a little bit. In this corner, I can't. I can't see if it's on the same side as the, yeah. So in this corner down here, it says, when I click it like that, it says Fox weather. You can't, oh, it's just a bit above the red line. Right here, it says Fox weather live stream, tropical storm Ophelia makes north, but then at the in fine print underneath that, it says Fox weather 1.6K watching started 5 months ago. So I don't understand. This is, it says this started 5 months ago, like this report. I can't get it to play. And so I don't know if it's the time delay from New York, the 2 hour time delay. I don't know, but I don't understand why it also says that this is live coverage of the hurricane on the East Coast, but it also says um, um, it also says that this started 5 months ago. So I that is confusing me, and it's confusing me that I can't get it to play. And because I'm trying to think, if it's live coverage, this is 2 hours earlier than the East Coast. So it actually, the time delay should be that this is playing ahead of the time that it would be playing. And really, real time is real time, so it would only the difference would be what time the clock says, not the actual not the actual event itself. So when I started immediately finding all this sort of uh, uh, indiscrepancies in time date stamping, even trying to get information about the East Coast and how things affected the East Coast, or and where the storm is, even within just this. I can't find up to date or live coverage anywhere. And now there's like a magnetic field moving through, which is irritating because it's moving through at the same time I'm hearing this really low, like, uh, voice of a man who sounds like they're about 150, and I'm trying to talk through um, this dead zone. I'm going to sign off and see if I can find real time information about the about the storm. Again, it's September 23rd, 2023. And one of the reasons I wanted to sign on was because I was thinking about um, the the hurricane when I was in Maryland in 2014 through 18, but the hurricane was, I think, like either the autumn or the spring, because I can't remember. I know that they're obviously both autumn and spring are hurricane seasons. So I can't. I was dressed kind of warmly, but the temperature wasn't like super cold. So I'm thinking it was probably autumn of 2019. Um, might have been like 2015. Somebody could look up the I can't even remember the name of the hurricane. But anyway, it was a really huge hurricane. This might be footage from that hurricane. Who knows? It might be another one of those instances where information is being rebroadcast um, with a time date stamp of present day. Um, and and that, again, I'm identifying as a way of manipulating information distribution. And they're also trying to capture and contain emotions of other people who might have people in those areas who are, are concerned about uh, persons, and just like well, I imagine, again, I don't want to assume, because when I speak for other biological mothers, then certain representatives of other cultures come around, honestly, saying, like, someone from another culture said right to my face, she could have a baby uh and I'm quoting, it's that other person, and she had brown hair and brown eyes, um and honestly a resemblance to Cher, of Sonny and Cher. And she said that she could have a baby and leave it without a problem. I can't do that, and I don't want to be able to do that, and I want my children not to be able to do that. um so my assumption is that most human beings, if they're one place and their loved ones are in another area where there's a storm or whatever, um, that they are looking for real-time information about what's going on also. Um, but again, I don't know how real time this information is, because much like I've identified within other weather forecasts, it might be simply rebroadcasting of news clips from other previous hurricanes, and they're trying to create this uh, um, I keep hearing pedophilia attached to this hurricane Ophelia. Um, so irritating. It is so irritating, because the amount of time, money, and energy spent and put into the covering up of their own behaviors in regard to human trafficking, and all of these people who are television personalities and involved in human trafficking. They send out sound bites. Now there's a new, and the word is, or the expression now is, it's more updated, but now that I'm going public with what I know, just in this little uh, thought importing via telephones and 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 electronic devices, um, because it really, things are really that specific and detailed, and so it's important to keep your own story straight and honest, to be able to ward off the subliminal messages of that have been already attached to me, that I have fought against, and I've talked about, and it's irritating and ironic that the subliminal message that is coming in with this hurricane Ophelia. And again, let me see if I can get, so that the um it's on the second line down, this Ophelia. um so I have had to fight against charges, subliminal information that have been coming at me for a number of years, because of because of my homeless situation, and that um and uh, the situation of my life. The people who who took my children from me have always come at me with charges, subliminally speaking, of child molestation, and I've never molested anybody's children. um it- uh and not my own either. So I have to, because I feel this surge of resurfacing of charges within this I'm taking my hat off, within this new storm. And I don't even know if it's a new storm or not, or if it was, these are stored. So sorry, but again, in keeping my own story straight, my own testimony straight and straight and honest. Um, I need to I need to attend to all this subliminal. And then again, when storms actually do come up and all this is trudged up, uh um you do have to, because all of it's like everything is it it resurfaces, and the truth then needs to resurface, because as these it's confusing. So my best strategy is always to tell my own truth as frequently as as I possibly can. And the concern for my concern for my children, um and it's so weird that it's the same people. And now I just realized as I was watching this and Kai Jackson came on the screen, Kai Jackson being one of the news anchoring people um, in Baltimore, and has been and then I'm remembering the irony, and now the screen just went blank as I'm telling this story. Um, the irony of when I worked at Applebee's, and the African American cook who has a resemblance to Kai Jackson. Um, I didn't notice it at the time. Um, he, the African American cook, whose name was Aaron, um, was always trying to fix me up with what I assumed, because to me he looked younger than me, chronologically aged speaking, with a guy named Kai. Now I'm on to all the information about the number of people. I don't know if white people use this strategy, or East Indian people. I don't. I don't go around in disguise, and it's not because the FBI told me Dawn Henderson isn't allowed to go under disguise, because she's such a criminal that we need to know where this is the way, the very guilty, who are constantly targeting me and using me as dumping ground for their own guilty activity, even of my own children. This That's their thought processes. um and uh so even as I'm thinking about, and now I'm wondering, in 2005, if Kai Jackson, or if Kai, the white cook, opposed to the African American cook who went by the name Aaron, and resembles Kai Jackson. That's all these people who who behave like everyone is a stepping stone. I don't behave like that. I don't use aliases not because I'm required not to. I don't use aliases not because or I don't use disguises not because I'm required not to. Although now I see that strategy being formed and used in regard to my constant appraisal and declaration of being at the mercy of freaking people who actually are child predators and have it's simply another strategy that I'm having that I'm seeing and identifying, because I can pass a litmus test. My fingerprints are on file in the HR department, in the FBI office from, I think, the year 1983. And I know NASA and other satellites can pick up those files and reestablish those files if they've been deleted. But I want, and now I've also established fingerprint files with the CBI purposefully on my part, because I want and need to be able to be a continued litmus test against the things I've talked about. Now, this newscast has now picked up and is now active.
So not really expecting to see much of these, perhaps surf zone.
And again, that word "so" is always a trigger phrase, and it seems to be a pivotal word used to turn tables, to flip the script.
As we go through the day today, but prepare to hunker down as this storm comes in. We've had wind gusts right now on Rockaway Beach, upwards of, say, 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's expected to continue to be pretty sustained through the rest of the afternoon today. That northeast wind for now is going to continue to wrap itself up throughout the remainder of the day. So hold on to your house. I've already lost mine twice today.